Hasta lecture doing kirtan.
I'm going to take prashadam, clean them up.
Tomorrow.
For me, it's too much in one day. I need to organize my stuff and go to bed early.
When you come tomorrow, kirtan?
I have to check the schedule.
No schedule.
I just go, I'll go after breakfast.
Oh.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sheman Sakasha Yudana Aste. Shema Sakasha Yudana Aste. Yad Falgula Labda Danurasaya. Le Ben Jasado Shaja Sevayaivam. Gatim Tadiyam Yati Bir Durapam. O Uddhava, does Yuyudana fare well? He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjuna and attained a transcendental destination, which is very difficult to reach even for great renouncers. Purport. The destination of transcendence is to become the personal associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as a Hokshaja. He is beyond the reach of the senses. The renouncers of the world, the sannyasis, give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friend, home, wealth, everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman, happiness. But a Hokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. The empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss, but philosophical speculation on the absolute truth. But beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Param Brahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called Ladini potency. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of the external features has not yet learned the quality of the Ladini potency of Brahman. Out of the many potencies of the omnipotent, there are three features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandini, and Ladini. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana, and Pranayama, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter the internal potency of the Lord. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by dint of devotional service. Yuyudana achieved this stage of life, just as he achieved expert knowledge in military science from Arjuna. Thus, his life was successful to the fullest extent of both the material and spiritual angles. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord. Om Gyantimidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Puncharine Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Sitarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Nitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mm. So the process of devotional service is not limited to a particular occupation. One can become fully Krishna conscious in any, what we say, respectable path in life. Even, as it says, women, Sudras, Vaishyas, anyone who performs the activities of devotional service and becomes successful can achieve, what is that success? They please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they execute the process in such a way that they detach themselves more and more from materialistic activities. Devotees know that the material world is simply a place of suffering, and therefore they give up all of their, what we say, connections in the material world, and then simply focus on their attention on associating with, serving Vaishnavas, and working together in a conjoint way to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is creating the spiritual family. Here it says the great renouncers, the sannyasis, give up worldly connections, no family. And of course, what makes up family is children, wife, wealth, a house, and all the relatives that you don't like, you got anyway. So that's easy to give up, of course. But the devotees of the Lord, they don't have to give up family or any of these things. They have to connect everything with the activities of devotional service. Therefore, they make their family members Krishna conscious. Their children become devotees. Their husband and wife work together as devotees to serve the Lord. And then the family becomes not only a biological connection, but a spiritual connection, which is a real connection. That connection that leads to higher realization or to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada uses an interesting word here, ahoksaja hapsi. Ahoksaja means beyond the range of the senses. Ahoksaja means, one who is beyond the range. That means Krishna is beyond the range of our senses because he is transcendental or above the three modes of material nature. People in the material world try for happiness within those three realms by working accordingly and making arrangements to enjoy happiness according to their desired, in other words, according to the way they desire. But they never make it, and they're always frustrated. Here we see a little bit higher, those who are jnanis. They go for that pleasure beyond the three modes of material nature, but it does not include the transcendental service of the personality of Godhead. But they feel a type of happiness that is free from the sufferings that come by connections of the material world. And therefore, they don't worry about renunciation. They engage everything in the service of the Lord. That is called Rupa Goswami, teaches that process. Nirbande Krishna Sambande Yukta Vairagya Uchchate Anasaktakti Visayan Upayunja Ujjate Nirbande Krishna Sambande Yukta Vairagya Uchchate, which means to spiritualize everything about your life. And that way you connect everything And it's not about giving up, it's about purifying. Because ultimately, to spiritualize means to bring it back to its original state. All living entities are meant to serve and satisfy the Lord through their service. That is natural. So as we bring in other living entities who are connected us with on the material level, biological level, we actually do them a great service, and at the same time, they were able to reach the transcendental realm also. But the Gyanis, they don't want to worship the Supreme Lord. They're envious of the Supreme Lord, but they want to be free from the effects of the material energy. So therefore, they engage in various types of meditation, drilling the respiration, performing various types of austerities, doing yogas, doing homas, fire sacrifice. In other words, a lot of the preliminary stages that are for purification, and they center their activities around them, and they get a type of happiness. But that happiness, once they realize the perfection in those activities, as it says here, they're strict in their adherence to yama. That means things to do. They know what to do that is beneficial. Niyama means carefully avoiding things that will take you away from your successful execution of devotional service. Asana, we all know that. It's about yoga. It's not, we call it yoga, but it's hatha yoga. Hatha yoga means controlling the breath, and it's called, part of that is pranayama, and drilling the respiration, meditation, dhyana, samadhi, ultimately, dharana, absorption. So these are different stages. Four, five, six are mentioned here. There's two more that were not mentioned, but that's part of the yoga system. But it says here, even though they're unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. But for the devotees, it's easy because they have regard for the Lord. They understand their relationship with the Lord. They understand He is the object of worship, and everything should be connected to Him in our devotional service. To see everything and to use everything and to act in such a way that whatever we have is offered in devotional service. Manaso deho geho yo kichum arpilu tu apade nandakishore. That means all of it, my wife, my home, my family, my wealth, my very body, whatever possessions I had, it belongs to you. It comes from you. And therefore, I'm giving it back to you in the form of service. Please accept it as my offering to you. And if we do it in a way that is pleasing to the Lord, that means in a humble way, Krishna will be satisfied and the devotee makes progress. What is that progress? They become detached from the activities of material life. They free themselves from material suffering and stress, and they awaken their attraction to Krishna, and they actually feel happy. Generally happy, not just this happiness that people experience when something goes their way. That is not happiness, that's just a temporary relief from suffering. Real happiness comes from the heart. Real happiness is the propriety of the soul itself. External happiness is not happiness. It's simply the changing energy of the material modes that make us feel good. And then once it changes, we don't feel good anymore. We call it happiness and just suki duki. But that's not, even that sukhi is not real happiness because it's just a relief from suffering. If you're hungry, that's a form of suffering. If you eat, you satisfy that hunger, and you call that happiness. But what are you doing? You're counteracting the pain of hunger, that's all. You're feeling lusty, so you want to satisfy your desires. So you do that and you feel like you're happy. But actually, all you're doing is counteracting that desire that's making you feel unhappy. So yeah, so this is how material energy works. But real happiness is transcendental knowledge that is used in the service of the Lord and that illuminates the mind and heart, and one can feel the presence of the Lord through the practice of devotional service. That is, as it says here, ahoksaja, beyond the range of the senses. And Prabhupada very nicely summarizes the difference between the different levels of happiness, comes to the highest stage of happiness, which is susukam kartamabhyayam, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, that happiness that's not dependent on anything in this world, but is simply that connects us with Krishna in devotional service. That's automatically, just like if you have a fire in the distance and you start walking towards the fire, as you're getting closer, you're seeing the brightness of the fire is increasing, and the heat coming from the fire, you're feeling it more and more. The closer you get, the brighter it gets, and the more heat you experience. So devotional service connects us with Krishna. Krishna is the source of all happiness. So as we come connected with Krishna, then that happiness increases unlimitedly. And when we're completely connected to Krishna, without breaking that connection through continuous devotion service, then there's no question of being happy or not happy. Happiness becomes the way of life. It's just normal. I was seeing many times now, even today, people are trying to study the whole process of happiness, how to become happy. And they got so many books they're writing. I think, I don't know, I was listening to one guy trying to explain happiness. It didn't make any sense to me. I can't remember what it said. That's why he didn't look so happy either when he was explaining it. But, he's telling you how to be happy, but he doesn't look happy. The doctor is telling you take this pill, but he's sick. So these kinds of guides in life are just false guides. They're not real guides. But the guru, spiritual master, is representative of Krishna. He knows the process of devotional service and he can engage you in that process, follow the instructions, and work accordingly. As Krishna says, whatever you do, offer it to me in devotion. That's the essence of all of activities. It doesn't matter what you do. It could be something very simple, such as washing dishes, or it could be something as like giving a spiritual talk, but both can bring happiness because they're connected with the source, Krishna, as the object of that activity. So yeah, so this is a very nice, devotees are on the transcendental platform. People cannot see that. Sometimes the devotees don't look happy because they still have some material desires yet, and they're still trying to fulfill those material desires. Therefore, they don't experience the real happiness that is available by devotional service. So we're going to stop trying to fulfill our material desires in the process of executing devotional service. Then happiness becomes continuous. It's because happiness is the nature of the soul's existence. Material life, blocks that natural happiness by its activities where it connects the living entity to something that is not intricately happy. People think, oh, if I get some money, I'll be happy. But the money can't bring you happiness. You're thinking, well, once I get the money, then I can do something and that'll make me happy. Well, what are you guaranteed? And even if you get some satisfaction, is that real happiness? No, it's just a relief from the anxiety of living in this material world. So great yogis, as it says here, great renouncers, They simply give up worldly connections and then they engage in transcendental happiness by engaging in devotional service. And they reestablish connections with other living entities in the realm of devotional service. So that is the spiritual family, and it supersedes and exceeds in all respects the material family. Because in the spiritual family, everyone is trying to give to others. In the material family, everyone is trying to get something from each other. It's like that. Once you get, when you first get married, everything is like heaven. And then you realize what happened to heaven. Did I get off the track or something? Or was it never there in the first place? Bhagavatam Tom says the happiness of married life is you can tell jokes with your wife. That's all. Beyond that, it's all just hard work. Okay, so we can open it up for questions.
Okay.
I'm the kiss box.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, again for reminding us that actual happiness is only in the devotional service and connecting to Krishna. We can get the right true happiness. This material world is not for us. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please, if you can, start your videos. And also, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I can give you the chance. Oh, good. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu has already raised the hand. If you can type in the chat also, I can read it on your behalf. So, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Please, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, you said that in the spiritual world, everyone is always giving to others and they're happy. And in the material world, everyone is always trying to take from others and they're not happy. So it seems to me.
They give in order to take. They give. In the material world, people might give to each other, but it has to be reciprocal, otherwise it won't continue.
So it seems to me that the very act of giving pleasure to others is happiness in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, but how to give pleasure to others, and what is that pleasure you're talking about? To relieve people from their suffering means to bring them outside of the three modes of material nature. Because within those three modes, there's different levels of suffering. That's all. Temporary relief from some material suffering is not really any kind of benefit for anyone. That's what Prabhupada would say. If someone's hungry, you give them some food, and they're satisfied, but then 4 hours later, they're still hungry. Give them the intelligence where they can get their own food so they can solve their problem. So we're telling people how to solve all their problems by going beyond the problems into the spiritual realm, by acting on this transcendental platform. On the transcendental platform, the effects of the three modes of material nature, which is different types of happiness and distress, is not there. Mm-hmm. We go to school, you work real hard, you study so hard, you get a particular degree, and then you're thinking, oh, I'm successful, but you can't get a job. Or you get a job that you don't like. or you get a job you like, but the boss doesn't like you. And he fires you, or he tells you so many restrictions on you that you forced to quit. I'm giving examples of devotees who come to me with these same situations. Yeah, material world is problematic. If you ask why is there suffering in the material world, that's like asking why is it cold in the wintertime? Because it's winter.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your question. I think Kalankanti Mataji has got a question in the chat, Guru Maharaj. She said, please accept my humble obeisances or glories to Srila Prabhupada. Mataji is asking, is it okay to take money for the devotional service? For example, the people living in the temple who does not do any other service, and to maintain their family, can they get some financial benefit of it?
What does Rupa Goswami explain as what is devotional service? Ayabila Sita Sunya Jnana Karmanavavritam Anukulena Krishna Silanam Bhakti Uttamam. Devotional service has to be free from, pure devotional service has to be free from any personal desire for gain. That's called fruitive activity. And also any desire for gain through philosophical speculation. It has to be for Krishna. In other words, the intention is to please Krishna. And it's for Krishna with intention to please Krishna. These 4 points. So if you're working in the temple and you're getting money, it's not devotional service, it's karma yoga. Because it doesn't fit into the definition of Rupa Goswami's devotional service. And people say, well, if I didn't do that, at least I'm doing service and, I'm covering. They give some compromise thing. Yeah, eventually you have to compromise. But the solution is ultimately to create community where devotees work together, as Prabhupada wanted us to do, in a, what we say, congregational way, to work together and to support each other for all of our personal needs. And everyone is engaged in devotional service. And if you preach, there'll always be money coming in. If you have to sell devotional service in order to gain money, that is again karma yoga. Problem that preaching follows management as the shadow follows the person. Or no, I'm sorry, management follows preaching as the shadow follows the person.
Okay.
So because we're not preaching, we take people from the outside and give them money. But money comes in automatically by preaching. You get so much money by preaching if you're actually preaching. Comes in automatically. Krishna sends it. We've seen that in many, many places. Just preach and money will come.
Okay.
I have one problem. I'm going to reveal something personal. Now, don't tell anybody. I have more money than I can figure out what to do with. And I don't work. Haribol. All I do is I just speak some philosophy.
We are in the wrong profession.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
So the point is, for those who are getting some salary, working in the temple, they're not getting the benefit of bhakti yoga, they're getting karma yoga. Karma yoga is yoga. Obviously, there's some purification, but it's not bhakti.
Okay. Hope Mataji, this would help you.
You can't change the definition of bhakti yoga in order to suit some material situation.
Mm. Ah, yeah.
Yoga is what it is. It's the internal energy of Krishna. And therefore, it has to be free from personal desire.
Mm.
If you need something to take care of yourself, you have to make that arrangement. You can't use the activities of devotional service to do that. If you want to do that, then you're not performing devotional service, you're pointing. And there's many devotees who are speaking out against this, but people are not listening because they think it's impractical.
Mm. Okay, thanks. Very clear, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. Sridevi Mataji, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. As you were describing these different paths of Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and so on, I was thinking that even to follow this path requires focus, determination, perseverance, and so on. Now, in today's world where it's only sense gratification, does anyone even choose this path of self-realization?
Prabhupada would explain that, especially in Kali Yuga, very rarely as people come, because the age is geared to two things: economic gain and sense gratification. Artha and Kama are the focus. And even people who perform Dharma, which is pious activities, use the benefit of Dharma for sense gratification in our own economic development. They might be pious, they may give in charity, they may also be effective, they might have many good qualities, but still, they're still in the material world, because even the mode of goodness is still in the material world. So it's very difficult for people to accept pure devotional service. But Lord Chaitanya has made it easy. He's made it very easy. He made it almost irrefutable. That is, chant, dance, take prashadam, and read some nice books, and hang around with some really nice people, and do the same. So the process is quite easy. Mahaprabhu is, I mean, if you see the requirements for spiritual advancement in previous ages, becomes very difficult in this age for people to follow all of the rules and regulations. It's too difficult. Prabhupada gave us 4 restrictions: no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meeting, and the gamble, which is the foundation to prevent us from falling into the material energy. Follow those 4 regulative principles and perform the activities of devotional service as given by the spiritual master, who is a representative of Lord Nityananda. So it becomes easy. Chant, dance, take prashadam. You have some time, do some seva. But because of the fruit of mentality, people are thinking in terms of personal gain. They don't understand that they think their personal gain is based on the body, but we're not the body, we're the soul. But personal gain is the benefit of the soul, not the benefit of the body. Personal needs may also be required in order to keep the body working at a certain level. But personal benefit is the soul's relationship with the Supreme Soul. Therefore, people take up devotional service sometimes to increase their material benefits. And that's mentioned also in the Gita. four kinds of people come. What is it? Those who are distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are inquisitive, and those who are actually seeking after the absolute truth. These are the four types of people. The first two are very much on the material level. The second two are a little bit higher, and the next one is higher, and the last one has the right understanding. But we invite everyone to take part, but then they have to understand that it's not about fulfilling your material needs. About awakening your natural love for God. That's the only goal of bhakti. Purushar Siromani, Prema Pumarta Mahan. When you analyze it in a broader way, you understand what is the principle of happiness. The principle of happiness is relationships. And if you take what is the essence of relationship, a favorable relationship, what each person is working for the benefit of the other person. When that becomes developed, it turns into love. So, love is the highest and the most needed for everyone. Everyone needs love. If you don't have love, your life is pretty much useless. You're never happy. You try to artificially place that loving feeling into something external. Oh, I love my car. It gives me such happiness when I see after I wash it and get all the dirt off it. It's so nice. I love my dog. He wags his tail when I come home. I love my, what is it? What other thing? My computer. I love my Rolex watch. It reminds me that I have 10,000 steps to take today, and so it really cares about me. When you look at it, it's quite ridiculous. Yeah, so love can only be shared between two living human beings. Love cannot be shared in no other way. And we can love each other, but that love between two people will never manifest fully unless that love first blossoms in our relationship with Krishna, because Krishna is connected with all living entities. And when there's love for Krishna, there's natural attraction and love for others. What is that attraction? You want to serve others. You look for opportunities to serve. You feel happy to serve. And you enjoy service. Like today, I was walking on the airplane today. And I've been getting on, walking down the aisle. And there's an old lady and an old man. They were getting into the seat, and the lady was really struggling. She was kind of not very, I guess, physically able to do it. She was carrying a little piece of paper in her hand, trying to get into the seat. So she dropped the paper right in front of me. So I picked up the paper, and she tried to pick it up herself, but she couldn't reach it. So I gave it to her, and she looked at me with such a nice smile and so happy. It was just a little gesture. Things like that really are it seems so small. But when you make someone happy without any desire for your own happiness, and that's how bhakti works also. Bhakti's like that. Just try to please Krishna, and as Krishna he's easily pleased by the desire to please. And then we become satisfied. We don't look for happiness anywhere else. And if you get a little unhappy, just take some prashad. It's also nice. Okay, KK, we got, who was that? Krishna Kavanaugh?
Sri Devi Mataji was there. Her question. I think she's with you. Is it okay,
Thank you.
Mataji? Thank you.
She said, if you're so unhappy, I'm hungry. So eat something. And she ate something. Look how happy she is now. Obviously, she ate prasadam. So eating prasadam is a nice problem. It's one of the happiest ways to practice devotional service. I came to the airport today and Prahlad Sringadev, he handed me this gigantic box of Mahaprasadam.
Very well.
I gave it to my associate. We were traveling together, and I got like an hour into the trip, and I thought, yeah, I need some happiness. So it was nice. Thank you. Because Krishna comes in the form of prasadam, just to give pleasure to his devotees. People in the material world generally don't find so much satisfaction in eating because they approach, and because the food is not offered to the Lord, it's called pop. It's actual sinful.
Mm.
Therefore, they can't really experience happiness through eating. Like you see that.
Yeah, that is so true, Guru Maharaj. Is it okay to expect the prasad after doing the devotional service? It's okay, isn't it? We can just go for prasad. It's not like fruitive activities what we are doing, is it?
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be taking prasadam all day.
No. After doing the service whole day, we can go for prasadam, isn't it?
Prabhupada used to say, to work hard all day and have prasadam at night, that's the best.
Okay.
But it may not work for everybody, but the point is prasadam is Krishna. And if you accept it in that way, you'll see it, you'll experience it not just as food, but as something transcendental, something spiritual.
Mhm. Right, so true. Little bit of Mahaprasad also fills us up completely, and if we have eaten not prasad, it does not fill up. It doesn't give any satisfaction at all.
And if you go to Jagannath Puri, then you can be in ecstasy all the time.
I know I've been there. It's so nice there. So nice. Amazing. Wish we can go back again. Let's see. Maybe. Okay. Srimati Mataji is patiently waiting. Go for it, Srimati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Shri Prabhupada. So when we are talking about pure devotional service, as we are mixed bhaktas and in Grihasthashram, it seems like very difficult to reach to that point of pure devotional service in this lifetime, because we are always surrounded with responsibilities and duties, and also the devotees who are like us around us. So, is there any hope for the grihasthas in this material world, Guru Maharaj, to reach to that particular pure devotional state?
You'll get different answers from different persons, depending on who you ask. Since you're seriously asking, I'll give the question is, there is, but the process of ashram is not to the end of life. First 25 years is for knowledge, for service, for working under the guidance of the spiritual master. After 25 years, you get married. This is just in the Vedic scheme. And you work in 25 years, you have children, you grow up. When they grow up, then they leave home and have their own families. And then gradually you separate from the husband, and then you move closer to Krishna. The woman goes to some holy place and worships the deity to the end of her life, along with others, ladies who are also doing. And then the man goes out and travels and preaches, and he also can come to the holy places and finish his life there. So the Vedic scheme does not allow you to stay in the household life till the end of life. It's there's 4 stages like that. So yeah, once the children are grown up. So in the meantime, the responsibility of household life keeps you somewhat burdened down with fulfilling those needs. But somehow you have to find time within that quality time to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. Therefore, community is the solution to waiting to the end of life to get happiness. Develop community.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, family responsibilities kind of make life somewhat burdensome. But then again, you can also streamline your responsibilities where you just do what is required. And there's others who want to live very gorgeously, and then that will require extra time, energy, and money.
Yeah. Yes, good much. Thank you so much.
There's hope.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for asking on all our behalf. Vrishabha Prabhu has got a question in the chat, Guru Maharaj. He says, Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev and Vaishnavas, please accept my humble obeisances. Gurudev, are all relationships between different devotees in Goloka Vrindavan intimate, even between different leading devotees and their servants?
In Goloka Vrindavan, all they love Krishna and they love each other just as much as they love Krishna.
Amazing.
They act in different ways with each other, depending on the moods and the different roles they play. But love permeates the spiritual world. The spiritual world is love, pure love. Read the pastimes of Krishna. Even if they disagree, if they fight, it's all done in a loving way. Because variety makes love even more, what we say, exciting. That's why you have to have variety. Radharani will get mad at Krishna, but that Krishna loves that. Your wife gets mad at you, she throws you out of the house and you have to find some place to get something to eat, you know. So in a spiritual world, love is the main reason. Everything is well moved by love. It's only love. That's all there is. But we can't understand that love from our perspective. But if you take time and read about Krishna's leelas in the spiritual world, you get an insight of the activities that they perform in loving relationships. And it's really, really wonderful. Even Jatila, she's trying to stop Radharani from seeing Krishna. She's making it difficult for Radharani, but that makes it more exciting. So there is kind of an excitement that comes around with transcendent. It's happening here in the spiritual world, but the substance is not the same. Gold,
Sorry.
gold and iron are both metals, but gold is gold and iron is iron. One is base and very available. The other one is very gorgeous and at the same time very rare. So there's different types. There's crows and there's swans. The swans are always graceful. They can drink milk mixed with water and drink and take the milk out of the water without touching the water. The crows will not go with the swans, and the swans will not go with the crows. The devotees don't associate with the non-devotees because they're crow-like. That's all. Their lives are just, you know, gah, 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 always complaining about something. And when you talk to them, they always tell you what's going wrong in life. If they're not telling you what's going wrong, they don't tell you much more than that because there's nothing much going right either. You have to understand material life means the hope of happiness. Everyone in the material world is hoping someday that they'll achieve happiness, and they're planning to fulfill that hope, but it just doesn't happen. So they live in the future, they never live in the present. They're always complaining about the past. Devotees are learning from the past, they're planning for the future, and they live in the present.
Yeah.
Radha Bhakti Madhuri, nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good, Maharaj. How are you?
Thank you for your lovely letter. I think I wrote back, didn't I?
That's very good. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you,
I'm
Guru
happy-
Maharaj. Sorry.
I'm happy you're preaching.
Small efforts. Just.
Something, that's nice, you're preaching Krishna consciousness.
Thank you.
Helping others means to get the special mercy of Krishna.
Jai, thank you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Rishabh Prabhu, I hope that has helped you. There is a question in chat, but we'll go to Amritanam Mataji first, and then we'll see Daria Mataji's question from the chat. Amritanam Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, when you were answering Srimati Mataji, I was just wondering about the Varnashram. What if somebody doesn't follow the Varnashram dharma properly? So basically, I've heard in one of the lectures that if you don't follow your Varnashram properly, then in the later life in Vanaprastha ashram and the sannyas ashram, then that the karma returns to you.
Yeah, the point is,
Mataji, your voice is
Hare
breaking
Krishna.
up. Do you want to, your voice is breaking up. Do you want to speak slowly or close your video? Will help, please.
I got the question.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not interested
Yeah.
in Varnashram. We're interested in Daivi Varnashram. There's a difference. Prabhupada said it's impossible to follow Varnashram in this age, but we should develop Daivi Varnashram. That means, Daivi means spiritual. And ashram and vana and ashram means work according to your nature and offer the results of those activities in devotion to Krishna. That is the vana part. And then also the ashram is situate yourself in that ashram where you can perform devotional service easily, nicely. So we're Daivi, not just Varnashram. Prabhupada throughout Varnashram, he talked a lot about it, but he brought it back to connecting it with Krishna, not simply the material Varnashram. Material Varnashram is necessary to organize society, so they come to the mode of goodness. That's all. Gets them to the mode of goodness. But material Varnashram people don't know anything. They're inclined to work according to what gives them the most material benefit, not according to their nature. Sometimes there is those who work according to their nature, but generally people are motivated by pecuniary gain. Because we need money in order to live. The society has set up this false sense of life that you have to have this paper in order to be happy and to get what you want. But it's just paper. So it's not real wealth.
Yes,
Real wealth is land, precious metals, animals, particularly cows.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Varnashram is quite a big subject, Guru Maharaj, and I am quite interested, not in material Varnashram, but the Devi Varnashram. How so? I'm trying to study it because even if we see here the Bhakti Vedanta Hospital, it's a very nice example of Varnashram system as well.
Right.
So, very nice setup by Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So, a deeper understanding can help the devotee community to be happier by following this.
Well, they're doing a service that is necessary and teaching people at the same time the goal of life, both. Giving them medical care, giving them not just medical care, but everything that comes long-term care, and at the same time giving them a chance to connect with the spiritual process. There's Radha Bhakti, our Radha Bhakti has just finished a book that she has been working on for years. It's already done. It'll go to print very soon. It's all about the Bhaktivedanta Hospital. Showing how miracles have happened in people's lives, how they came in one consciousness and left as devotees.
Yes, Maharaj. Bhaktivedanta Hospital has personally been a very helpful source for me, Guru Maharaj, for being a support for me in terms of service and in terms of devotee association. And many of the programs which goes on there, they're quite very interesting. So I often visit hospital only.
Yeah, they have spiritual programs in the evenings too. Invite people to come,
Yes.
along with having an environment where they play Prabhupada's bhajans, Prabhupada's lectures, break during the day to bring everyone together for a prayer meeting happens. And I have some good news for you. you're going to get an associate pretty soon who's going to be there with you, and you'll be more fortified.
I got that news, Guru Maharaj, and I'm quite equally excited for that. I'm quite eager to serve her.
It's reciprocal too. She'll need you. She'll need the same thing.
Yes, yes, Guru Maharaj.
It's good.
I'm glad she's coming, Mataji.
I'm more glad than you are.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your question. I think Raj Prabhu is waiting patiently. Go for it, Raj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I have a confusion that if someone is working according to his psychophysical nature and offering the results to Krishna, is it Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga?
Well, if you're working on the outside, it's karma yoga. If you're working within the confounds of devotional service, it's bhakti yoga.
Okay, so being more particular, Maharaj, more specific, if a Kshatriya is working uh, outside to gain a position in the society so that he can preach or he can use his psychophysical nature to serve the society or the mission. So, but he has desire to gain that position. Now, how does he define that whether it is Karma Yoga or it is Bhakti Yoga?
It depends if he's following the process of bhakti. We can use anything to serve the Lord. In other words, if he's gaining some pecuniary gain through his service, what is Prabhupada saying? What is the standard by which people who work on the outside should connect in terms of the benefits they get from that in terms of money? You give 50% of your earnings to the temple, 25% you keep for day-to-day expenses, and 25% you put in the bank for emergencies, for future. Follow that, then you're following the process. That's bhakti. But if you're keeping 90% of the money and giving 10%, that means it's closer to karma yoga because you're not following the principles given by the spiritual teachers or the Shastra. That's in Shastra also. But use your service, use your material service to serve the Lord. Okay. And whatever gain you have, if it's pecuniary, follow that method that's been given. And if it's not, then come to the temple, worship, and also do service in the temple too. The government steals most of our earnings, yeah. So you allow them to steal it. Hey, please, Mr. Government, steal it from me. Here it is. We say thank you very much. That's why we're talking about this farm communities, which is the basis of Varnashram. Get away from being dependent on the outside world. That's Prabhupada's ultimate teaching. Unfulfilled desire of the spiritual master. And you can have many occupations in a farm community. It doesn't mean you have to be farmers.
True. Very practical question, Raj. But yeah, good answer by Guru Maharaj.
You have a whole social and political system right there in your environment. But as I mentioned in some of my previous classes just recently, we're forced into this lifestyle because it makes money for the outside world. They use the population, the big businesses, the corporations, and especially the demons They exploit the people by just working them hard and taking most of their money, giving them back some like little trinkets, like popcorn, going to the movies, some stupid games, you know. People are what we say mesmerized by sense gratification. They think as long as I have sense gratification, I'm okay.
True.
They trick you. There was one Italian Marxist, and he said, yeah. He said, if you want to control people, don't force your control on them because they'll rebel. Control them by giving them most useless activities to do. And that way you can control them. Frivolous things, stupid movies, stupid games, stupid things to do. This, that. And people are mesmerized by these things. Kids, they play all these different games. I mean, most of the games that I played as kids were nice, but now the ones that are playing that, they're just dangerous. So the world is controlled by demons. Prabhupada said that. We have to break this demonic control by not aligning ourselves with their organizational way of life. And that's farm communities.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Raj, I hope that has helped you.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. It helped me a lot.
Great.
Yeah,
It has,
don't be afraid about the demons.
true.
You'll keep working just to maintain yourself. You'll find yourself only able to maintain by whatever work you do. Because they'll take your money in different ways and they'll find different ways to attract you to spend your money uselessly. Like somebody gave me a watch the other day. I thought, all right. I wore it for one day and gave it away. Do you actually need a watch? I mean, you can always find out the time wherever you are. I mean, I have a cell phone. I look on the cell phone and there's the time.
Exactly.
Big flashy watches. They're bigger than the guy's hand, you know. It's like they can't even lift it up. It's so heavy. It's watches. It's sparkling this way and that way. It talks to you too. You get you know. If you want to buy anything electronic, there's 5,000 different varieties of the same object, you know. This is all part of the capitalistic scheme to exploit nature, exploit people, and to make profits based on that. That's all it is. They're not, but they think they are. Nobody's happy. That's why Prabhupada said simple living, high thinking.
True.
Take care of your basic needs and whatever you need to maintain your family. And then use the rest of your time for Krishna consciousness.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Sri Devi Mataji, you raise your hand.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I was thinking about the newsletter that Guru Maharaj sent to all of us, Krishna Life, the monthly newsletter about the farm community that's coming up in America under the guidance of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. It is written in such a wonderful way, the description of the whole place and the activities that they're doing. I was very impressed and very encouraged to see that development. I just want to share that.
Yeah, yeah, I was really inspired by that. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has really got the perfect vision, and he's developing it too. Yeah. Okay, so we can
Thank you.
stop.
Guru Maharaj, there are a couple of questions in the chat. If it is okay, are you okay with the time? Yeah.
Yeah, just let's see.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, so it's the Rishabha Prabhu has got follow-up question. If our spiritual master is training us to come with him to Golok Vrindavan and serve under him, the divine couple, should we have intimate relationship with our spiritual master rather than official one with awe and reverence?
What is that intimate relationship? Follow his instructions. If you don't follow his instructions, there's no question of relationship or intimate or unintimate or semi-intimate, half intimate. Follow the instructions carefully, learn the instructions, figure out how to practice the instructions.
Yeah, I think there was this another question which you have already answered, Guru Maharaj. He had that question as well. What is intimate relationship means?
That one sometimes the spiritual master becomes very friendly with his disciples, but the disciples should not take advantage of that and think they can act in the same way. If they lose respect for the spiritual master, then that'll affect their devotional progress.
Thank you for reminding that, Guru Maharaj. There's another question from Daria Mataji. She says, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. Thank you very much for the nice lecture. I have some questions. If we unfulfilled material desires while practicing bhakti, does that mean we are not making advancement in our practice? So if we have unfulfilled material desires, does it mean that we are not practicing our advancement?
Dependent on material desires. Ayabila Sita Sunyam. It's free from all material desires. Destroy material desires.
Yeah, it takes time, isn't it, Guru Maharaj, to get rid of all the material desires. If we practice it slowly by slowly, we are getting progress. We can understand that we have got rid of quite a few, but
The more you practice, the more you realize how many you have.
yeah, exactly. No, that is so true. We have lots.
It's like sometimes we say it's like washing coal. You try to wash coal, never gets clean.
Never. All the dirt keeps coming. Thank you. Another question. Yeah, sorry. Another question is, in the verse, it explains that material activities cannot fully satisfy the heart. What should we do if we don't feel fulfilled with our work? We said.
Work for Krishna. And then you'll get fulfilled by you. Okay.
Yeah, and the last one is, how can we know if a desire is something Krishna wants us to fulfill or not? That is a good question.
He doesn't, don't worry. He wants you to come back to him. He's not trying to keep you in the material world. His desire is to purify you through the process of devotional service, either through the spiritual master's instructions to his personal intervention or through the slaps of material energy.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. I think you need some rest now, and there's no more questions as well. So thank you for your time and giving us all the instructions, which are really good, helpful. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you,
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Missing you. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
फोन की समझे ना, तो प्रणाम पाती हुआ हमसे आप यहाँ कब आ रहे हैं, हमसे आप कब सम्मेलन कीजिएगा?
Thank you, Sukhama Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. I'll just close the call as Guru Maharaj has left the call. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.